this is not a born EV, as many people will say. It's not a born EV. I don't care what it is. I care about what it does. And in that sense, in the backseat, a non-born EV, which has been modified to accommodate a battery pack, has better headroom than a born EV, like the 9E, right?
Right.
Both can be comfortable, but the space and all is not exceptionally better in the born EV versus the modified EV, right?
But is there a change at the platform level itself?
So that's going to be another part of the conversation. This platform is uh, massively modified, right? Tata will say that this is an all new platform. And in some ways, you can say, sure. Because the floor pan is different. The side sills have been reinforced to better perform in crash tests for side pole impact.
Because now they have to protect the battery also.
Correct. And what they said was that it has to be able to absorb and not transfer the loads into the battery, because that's when you'll have trouble. Same for the front. Like the front has also been strengthened. The floor, like I said, was flat. So they've actually, what they said was that the chassis, the rigidity of it, when you plug the battery pack in, is even higher than some other cars that you can compare with. So they have had to redo how the chassis itself is.
Right.
Is it so? This is going to be that other conversation about born EVs versus modified. And I think what you as consumers need to remember is that, or buyers, where you're spending your money, is you have to look at your benefit. What are you getting out of it? Whether it's a born EV or it's a modified EV or whatever it may be. Is it working for you? Is it delivering the experience that you want? Right?
Correct.
Is it giving you the numbers that you want? Correct? And in that regard, this is not a born EV, as many people will say. It's not a born EV. I don't care what it is. I care about what it does. And in that sense, in the backseat, a non-born EV, which has been modified to accommodate a battery pack, has better headroom than a born EV, like the 9E, right? Both can be comfortable, but the space and all is not exceptionally better in the born EV versus the modified EV, right? There are compromises, but we've seen these compromises with most EVs, born EVs or not, and which is the under thigh support, right? That is a compromise we've seen with born EVs as well. It's a compromise here as well. So if you notice, if you step outside, this car is 20 mm taller than the Harrier EV. That's because it's been raised.
20 mm taller than the Harrier.
Sorry, Harrier Ice. Yeah, 20 mm taller than the Harrier Ice. That's because the car has also been raised 20 mm. And then the floor in the cabin is also raised 20 mm, because that's the space that's been liberated for the battery pack.
Right.
So the battery pack is sitting underneath, and that consumes space. And that's a challenge for all cars to accommodate. Now, in the Harrier's case, it has raised the floor. And so the Harrier, which is one of my favorite Tatas, because I think that what it's doing inside the cabin is special. Its backseat has been a highlight for me. And after the facelift, I think they improved the experience in the car dramatically, where it became smoother, it became modern, it became cool, all of that. And the backseat was definitely very impressive, spacious, supportive, all of that. So somewhere, and this is the thing with EVs, that you never get an EV, whether it's born EV, modified EV, whatever. I am yet to come up and drive an EV where you say, this is just better than ICE. The performance is there, it's better, it's a different experience. But is it flat out better than an ICE?
So far, no.
So far, no. Because all those promises that you'll have, because it will be flat floor, because the motors will be small and they'll be tucked away in one corner, you'll get so much volume on the inside, space on the inside, and comfort will be maximized.
It happens to all the concept electric vehicles.
Correct. So in the concepts, you'd see those lounge-like cars with massive space and everything. But that's not happened yet. For whatever reason, whether us as consumers, whatever it may be that we cannot accept those shape of cars, it has not happened yet.
Right.
And so with every EV that we drive, we realize that yes, it's gone EV, but there are some fundamental compromises that you have to live with, and you will find them. No matter which ones up till now that we've driven, that you will find something. The closest car that comes to talking about maximizing the EV scenario is the Windsor with its mono volume design, right? It does open up a lot of space on the inside for passengers, luggage, all of that. but it has its compromises in terms of suspension setup. It has to be firm because of the battery weight,
Correct.
and all those kind of things that roll in over there. So yeah, so in this, the Harrier has kind of traded down on that excellence that it had in terms of passenger comfort. If you're taller, you will feel it more for sure, whether you're in the front or in the back, because the floor is a little bit higher. These are the small things that you end up realizing, because like when I sat in the car and I started adjusting the seats, I realized again it took me a little bit longer, right? Because I'm just like, nah, something little bit.
My legs are not fitting in properly.
Something where you go to your default setting and you're like, no, I need to fine tune, and you get there, you find something that works, but does it have that same kind of immediate comfort and that I'm at home? It's slightly changed from that. So taller people, if you're a tall family, you have to check out the front and the back to see how it works for you.
There is a kind of EV that you can get which has no compromises at all.
Tell me.
It's called the ICEV, internal combustion engine vehicle.
That is a clip from MotorInc. And what that means is if you'd like to see more of these, you can do two things. One is stay on this channel, subscribe and watch more, or you can come to the main MotorInc channel where you'll find a much longer video that discusses this idea in a lot more detail.